Hello and welcome to this festive episode of DWN Productions THC podcast, sponsored by Fast Custom Shirts here at BOYGOB.com and the YouTube page. Hey Joe, you're all you're all decked out for the
Yes,
season for pleasing.
decked the halls I did with the balls of holly? What does this shit mean? Anyway, yes, it is our special Christmas episode. We do this, of course, early because we're not going to record on Christmas because, it's for family and all that. Uh, thank all of you, though, for taking a little bit of time out of your Christmas gift wrapping or Hanukkah celebrations, if that's still going on,
Or just
or
your life.
yeah, yeah. You're probably making pastries or something, but you can listen along as you're making some of those Christmas pies and puddings and things of that sort, you know. Tom, how have you been, sir?
Oh man, I've been all right. It was another week of working, so thankful for that. And then what was it? Yesterday, Saturday, headed on out to the old Houston Horror Film Festival holiday pop-up market at Eureka Heights Brewing. I got there in about hey, thanks again for having us out. I appreciate it. It's fucking nice that you guys throw on this event that I'm able to see friends that I don't get to see all the time. So I appreciate you for that. It's kind of cool seeing like the same people every couple months or so. Like fucking, as we talked about, the word community is kind of, you can say it how you want, but it's like, oh, hey, that guy's still not dead. Good for him. That's cool. And shit like that. So, it's just nice seeing the people, even though I don't talk to any of these motherfuckers. But thanks, guys. Fuck. I appreciate it. Still not right. Jesus Christ. All this mirrored bullshit. But yeah, I got there at, I can't remember what the fuck time. Pulled up to the small ass parking lot to load in and all the spaces were taken up because from what I heard, all the wrestlers parked there because this was a pop-up market and a wrestling match. So I unload the car and shit, not a whole hell of a lot. I was going for more to hang out. I didn't anticipate selling anything. Surprisingly, I did sell one thing. So, hey, thank you, buddy. And everybody else who got my used shit. Thanks for that, too. I hope you enjoy it. Because I didn't. That's why I was selling those movies, you see. Anyways, parking is on the street. And I fucking hate that shit. I will rarely ever go anywhere that you have to park on the street. Like 10, 15 years ago, I was on in Houston, parked on the old street there. I was 11 feet from a stop sign, parallel parking there. Came back, oh, got a ticket for parking too close to a fucking stop sign. So I was driving back and forth down the street like a mile, just back and forth, waiting for what I would think would be acceptable parking spaces. And I found one. It looked like in front of a dilapidated crack house, half a mile away from the fucking place. I was like, man, fuck this. This is all I got. What the fuck? Joe, I called him up. That's you. I said, man, I don't know. I think I'm gonna fucking leave. I'm gonna come back and get my shit and just get the fuck out of here. Cause fuck this shit. But I wasn't so jovial, jubilant.
Yeah.
I wasn't so I was like, man, fuck this. I'm gonna get the fuck out of here. It was more like that. How would you say it was, Joe?
Uh, Tom's not in the best of moods. The day's just started. It hasn't even really begun yet, And Tom is like, Yeah, I'm just gonna get the fuck out of here. Yeah, fuck this. This is fucked. This is fucked. Uh, so that's my Tom impression. In case you didn't, you
It's
know.
pretty good.
Yeah. But no, I told Tom, I was like, well, let's see where you're at. Whatever, I'll help you get some shit down. And so I'm walking over there with Tom and say, hey, why don't you park right fucking there? That's a parking space right there. He said, no, that's not a park. Yeah, there's space right there. There's not a fire hydrant. There's not a sign anywhere that says no parking. There's a
But
car.
I thought that it would be too close to their driveway.
Hmm.
That was my thinking. Because I didn't want a ticket or get towed for parking too close to somebody's driveway.
So,
Especially it's something I wasn't, I was confident I wasn't gonna get a whole lot of income from, and it was just, have a good time.
so after some cajoling, Tom moved his car, parked it, and then he was ready to finish setting up. Yeah.
Yeah, I was ready to get the fuck out of there.
But he didn't. The event opened, the brewery opened. Tom bought some beers and complained a bit about that because he's still in a dour mood. You see, Tom wanted to buy an old 6-pack and just drink it there, which I see as a reasonable thing. Hey, you're buying their beer, you're gonna drink it on premises, but they don't sell canned beer to be drank on premise. Strange. It's a really, really strange thing. So we were stuck drinking their draft beers. It turns out there was another little tent selling, you guessed it, canned beers to be drank on the premises. I don't know. It wasn't the beer that Tom wanted, though. Tom, as many of you that know him in real life, he's very particular about certain things, foods, beers, what have you, you know. But yeah, we did a little drinking. The crowd trickled in. I'll say that. They eventually showed up, and
I would think that most of them, with the line, they would go in through the building and then funnel out towards the back because that's where all the names, celebrities were inside. So
yeah,
I think it kind of filled in there. And then maybe an hour and a half, they all started, as you said, piss trickling out the back door.
yeah. So yeah, started selling some stuff. Had a good time. I had a good time. Like Tom said, thank you for the people that do come up and support us. Thank you for everybody who puts on the organizational guys. Uh, our buddies Scott, Tony, and whoever else I'm forgetting, which is
Tony
Eric.
Scott.
And yeah, I was glad to be there. I'm a bit burned out on driving, and I've got a big drive to make next week. But yeah, had fun. Thanks to Roop, my buddy Roop, for making these last few voyages with me. And we left the day before. That way we could get some sleep. Not have to get up at 4 in the morning to drive and get to Houston by 8 or whatever the fuck. But we ended up staying up till 4 in the morning anyway at the hotel, watching fucking documentaries on YouTube, like a bunch of couple of nerds and shit. Uh, yeah, and then
It's
Houston.
always good seeing him. So I appreciate the fact that he likes to go along with you.
Yeah. Um,
Even if he has an extra hole in his dick, that doesn't make him a bad guy.
um, so like there was no place to eat on the way to the venue from our hotel. I was very disappointed. I was hoping to get some drive-through taquitos. We don't have that shit here in Dallas. But no,
You don't have what?
taquitos, Tom. Uh,
Really?
little taco. Yeah, Dallas sucks for Mexican food, for Tex-Mex food. It's just garbage up here, and you have to go like inside a gas station. And I'm always leery about the gas station type restaurants.
What
Uh,
else has touched those rollers? How many people's little dick beaters were rubbing up on these fucking hot dogs and shit?
Strange shit. But yeah, nothing on the way but a Jack in the Box. I've never had Jack in the Box breakfast, and I never will again, Tom. I am not as particular as you on foods and shit, but I don't think I've ever eaten Jack in the Box sober before. So this was a different experience, and man, fuck them. Fuck that place.
I haven't had their breakfast in a while, but excuse me. I would they get the croissants, like the bacon, egg, and cheese croissants,
Yeah.
but they load it with a lot of that spray butter shit.
Yeah.
And Burger King's is better. Burger King's is closer, so if I want that shit, I'll just go there. But you
Yeah.
got to give it down for that McMuffins. Those
It
are those are the shit.
it yeah, so the breakfast had me in the shitter pretty early at the brewery, and apparently it did the same to Tom or to Roop. So yeah, we both destroyed their shitter, not at the same time, thankfully. That would have been a little too much for old Eureka.
Yeah, they had one bathroom with one urinal. This fucking brewery. You never see lines to get into the dude's bathroom the first time. No, it happened a couple times, but it just shocked me the first time because fucking there wasn't a line. I just walked in and there was like three people just standing in piss fumes waiting to piss in this small ass bathroom. I was like, "Are you guys just here waiting to piss?" They're just like, "Yeah." I said, "Well, that's weird." And I went outside and waited. And two guys, like a couple minutes later, two dudes came out at the same time. I was like, all right, it should be good now. Walked in there. It was like they didn't, but it was like seven more people showed up. And it was like, what the fuck? Well, I can't go out and fucking do this whole thing again. So I'm waiting. Dude goes, next dude goes, it's my turn. Then he leaves. Then I see this dude standing in the corner. I was just like, you got to piss or you're just hanging out in the bathroom? I have to use a stall. Oh, all right then. So then I took my piss, washed my hands, and got the fuck out of there. But one urinal for a fucking brewery is damn ridiculous.
Yeah, it's a brewery. You know, beer makes
Do you
you,
not understand your product?
and it is not a small location either. It looks like you can fit a good amount of people in there. So, yeah, work on your bathroom situation, Eureka. Uh, yeah, I had a good time. I uh, I made a decent amount of money, for the size of the venue, it being only one day. And had a good time. Got to hang out with friends again, Tom, and familia. Familia came out. Not that they listen to this, because they have taste and all. Um, but yeah, Tom got to see some wrestling. Every time I started to pay attention to the wrestling, someone would come up to the table, so I didn't get to pay much attention to it. I don't even know who won the Santa Krampus shit.
Oh, you know who won, and you didn't even have to be there. But you know who didn't win any of the matches? Every black wrestler. It was fucked up. Every black wrestler lost. I don't know what the fuck federation this was, but it was in the South. I didn't approve. I kept yelling, "Go back to Europe!" Fucking pricks.
Yeah, that's one thing. Roop finally got to live his lifelong dream and see a wrestling ring being constructed. As they put that thing together, Roop was like wrapped. He was just watching. He's
Oh, it's
taking,
a bunch of loose 2x4s.
yeah, yeah, long 2x4s. Uh, he thought before that each rope was there individually, instead of it being a big, squarish type thing. So, yeah, glad you got that experience, Roop. Roop's in the chat right now, as is our old long lost friend Kyle Driver.
Yeah.
Kyle, don't call me Adam Driver. Adam's
Oh, shit.
one of Tom's favorite actors the past 10 years or so.
All my life.
Hmm.
I loved him in Three Men and a Baby. That was his first role, you know.
Sure, Tom will have him on his top list next time we broadcast, because he was in that dinosaur movie or whatever, or maybe that Ferrari is coming out next.
I did watch 65.
Yeah, you did. I know.
It was very average.
It's an Adam
It was,
Driver. Yeah.
it was so average, I forgot about it until you said something. I was thinking in my head, no, he's not going to be on the list. I didn't see him in shit.
You did.
Oh, yes, I did. Oh, good stuff. Hot stuff. So, you shared a one-room bed or a one-bedroom with another dude this past weekend. Would you guys cuddle up and watch?
Let's see. That is not true, by the way. But I'll tell you this: in this room we were at, it had one wall that was a big fucking curtain. So I go to open it to look out, see what our view was like. Hey, there's a lovely pool down there. But what about this other curtain? Was just covering a wall for some reason. Kind of
Just
strange.
to even it out, make it look nice. Otherwise, it would look silly.
Yeah. I don't know. I felt kind of tricked by the whole thing. But anyway, Tom.
It was out in the open. It wasn't tucked back, right?
No. Let's see. We watched a documentary on a game, Tom. A video game.
Mortal Kombat.
A whole lot. No, not Mortal Kombat. Half-Life. Yeah.
No, if it's not Mortal Kombat, I played that. Or Duke Nukem, I played.
Yeah,
3D.
well, like Duke Nukem, this was a first-person shooter. It had a science fiction and conspiracy element to it, and it is about Valve, the creation of that company. So just some dudes that wanted to start making video games. They got together. They found out, hey, we need more people to do this, and we need, this person and this person, somebody that excels in this, and and I don't know much about the behind the scenes shit on video games. I don't know what it takes to make them. It takes quite a bit of,
Computers.
and these are all like next level nerds because we're just fucking nerds that play video games and read comic books and watch movies.
I
These
don't
people,
know about you. He's a
these people
fucking
are
nerd.
smarts, they know computers and fucking coding and shit like that. And getting them all together, to try to work on one thing, I would think would be difficult. But there's not a lot of drama to this story, other than that they had to push their deadline out a little bit, and but it was good. I mean, it was interesting to me because I like the video game, and it was cool to see some of these levels that I haven't seen in I don't know how many fucking years. And so it got me and Roop talking about some of the games we played and about Half-Life 2, Tom, and how remember how magazines would come with like preview discs of games, That's how I encountered Half-Life. I was so fucking eager to play. I bought this stupid $10 magazine that had Half-Life 2, it had like an opening level or some shit.
You remember going to Walden Books or B. Dalton and going to pick up that magazine and, hey, where's the disc at?
Yeah.
You're welcome.
Yeah, so it was cool. We still don't have I thought they were going to end this documentary with the announcement of Half-Life 3 is finally ready. Nah, we still ain't got news on that motherfucker. I don't think that ever is going to come out. But I've been wrong before, Tom. If you liked or played Half-Life, give this a watch. If not, there's really no reason for you to watch it.
Did Mr. Half-Life show up?
Yeah, he did.
It's more than I could say for Stephen King. Fucking prick. So you said there was no drama in this documentary. Was it in the documentary or was it in the actual story?
Uh, the drama?
Yeah, like, was there no drama in the movie because they didn't build the documentary around that? Or just, oh, the game was easy to make, there weren't really any problems, and it was all just fucking puppies and breezes?
Pretty much. Like they're just saying we redid this. We this is how we did this. This is the person that worked on this. It was pretty straightforward. But it was only like 65 minutes too. They're not fucking wasting your time at the same time with bullshit. They didn't. Kevin Smith didn't pop up and start talking about how Half-Life changed his life. And start fucking tearing up and shit.
So, do you think the filmmakers and maybe the people who are actually involved in the story, like the people who made the games and like all those people they interviewed, like the people who are actually involved in the making of the game and not just the people who are involved in the making of the movie, do you think that they saved the drama for their mama and that's why there wasn't any?
Could be. Could be. They didn't like, oh, this dude was fucking this dude at the time, and this guy hated him because of it. He was very homophobe, and this one over here was a racist, and that's why there was no Asians on the team, which is odd, but or Indians, odd, but
So
no.
this was a San Francisco based development company, or
Were they? Yeah, yeah. I think no. Wait a minute. Yeah, I think so. I don't fucking know. Somewhere out there. Somewhere out there. Sorry, I
I
was
thought you were going to go with the South Park one.
no South Park. It's all an American Tale.
Fucking freak. What do you know about an American Tale?
5
Joe,
Tom.
that is your real name?
Did you watch anything, Tom, or are you just out there painting the whole time?
I watched a lot.
Oh, did you?
Yep. It's the holiday season and all. Us being a couple of Jews, Christmas is our thing. So I watched two of the Dog That Saved movies. Because there's about 18 of these fucking things.
You're right.
And I watched The Dog Who Saved the Holidays, which, it's a Christmas movie, but the one they already made, The Dog That Saved Christmas. So instead of making The Dog That Saved Christmas 2 or again, we'll just call it The Dog That Saved Holidays and cut our losses. And Joe, it's another one. Joey Diaz farts in it and he breaks into people's houses with Superman. And then I watched
What's the dog's name?
what's what?
What's the dog's name in this series? I forgot.
Zeus.
Huh?
Zeus.
Zeus. There you go. Zeus.
And they go back and forth being played by Mario Lopez and Joey Lawrence.
Yeah.
Mario Lopez was the original dude. And Joey Lawrence came in for a couple, and then I think Mario Lopez finished them out. But one of these, I don't know which one because it doesn't matter. But one of these was the first one that I watched with Mario Lopez in it, and he fucking sucks. Team Joey Lawrence. Team Whoa. You remember that one? Did you go around and go, whoa?
Is the poodle in this one or the chick dog?
Joe, that's right. I watched How the Dog or The Dog Who Saved Christmas Vacation. And this one, they go to Aspen to their mom's ski condo or some shit. And Casper Van Diem, he's there like, hey, I bought this new poodle dog for your dog to fuck. And it's voiced by Paris Hilton.
Chris Hilton, that's right. Because this dog's all fancy and shit, right?
That's right.
Yeah.
And then Joey Diaz shows up with Superman and they fart and try and rob this family again. They don't succeed. And those were two of the dogs that saved Christmas movies, whatever. They're
So,
fucking.
uh, if you haven't clued in by now, you listeners or watchers or whatever, I also am a miserable prick and watched Dogs That Saved Christmas bullshit a few years back. What the fuck is wrong with
Yeah, I mean, they're just. Yep, this is made for TV slop, all right. If Joey Diaz wasn't in it, I wouldn't watch it. Like, he fucking grew up being like a fucking burglar, and I wasn't going to say and cokehead, but he was doing that way into his adult years. So just seeing him play this like fat goof burglar, it's funny. It's funny on multiple levels, Joe. See, I can't say, yeah, go out and watch these. Nah.
Mm-mm.
I mean, if you want a talking dog movie where the dog's mouths don't move, I mean that lets you know the budget and quality of the movie you're working with. So it's up to you. Probably have better things to do with your life. I don't, but you probably not if you're listening to this. So yeah, watch any of the dog that saved whatever. I watched two back to back, and it was fucking hard getting through that second one there, Joe. One every couple months is all right, but mm, triple threat would have killed me.
Yeah, I'm gonna watch at least one Christmas movie before the holidays are up, but this week wasn't the week.
Mm. It
But
was for me because we were doing a Christmas themed podcast, you see.
well, with that in mind, another documentary we watched was Motorhead, the Bronze Era.
Oh, you said we. I was like, I didn't watch this. You were talking about that dude you shared a hotel room with.
Roop, yes, Roop. Which thank you, Roop, for not like filling the sink up with like fucking
Pizza and bile.
Savant. Yes, other guy I once shared a room with, which was not the greatest experience.
To be fair, though, did you guys get pizza that night?
No, we didn't.
Well, see, go fuck yourself.
Mushrooms. That's what was in the fucking.
Spinach and mushrooms. But also, to be fair, that was the first event, quote unquote, since the start of the pandemic. And I mean, really, it was still at the beginning of the pandemic because it was Texas and they didn't really give a fuck. So it's like, all right, we're all going to die anyways. Let's sit really close and drink everything we possibly can. And then at 1 a.m, right when Domino's is about to close, we'll find the most sober person to order us pizza. And then we ate that pizza.
Did.
And then, drove home at 7 a.m. Like that was the right thing to do.
I think Tom spilled a $30 pitcher of wine of beer as well.
Why?
It's the holidays. I've got wine on. So yeah, Motorhead, Bronze Era. Tom, is Bronze was the record label that Motorhead was on when they first started. Turned out nobody wanted to give old Lemmy and the boys a chance. Lemmy got fired from Hawkwind for being a prick.
Because he was full of it.
He got fired from Hawkwind because he had a conviction and couldn't go with them on their American tour. But
damn, Chomo.
Sounds like they didn't want him to go anyway, and that they were just looking for an excuse. He's pissed off, says, "Oh, I'm gonna start my own band, then, mate," and hires two guys, to play in the band. And like I said, nobody wants them. They fucking sign on with this, I don't know, okay label, I guess. And then they just exploded, Tom. They were big shit in the UK and in Europe and everything. Didn't really hit America until they left the record label. I didn't start really listening to them until they had the Orgasmatron album, Tom. And but this is all pre that, you know, and it's just the story of them partying, writing these songs, you know. Some people come from the band, leave later on, you know, it's good. But like the Half-Life documentary, if you're not a Motorhead fan, there's probably not a big reason for you to watch it. Unlike the Dio documentary, which I could recommend to just about anybody. Nah, you got to already be fans of this. You know, it's not going to win over anybody just on its own. But I'm a fan, so I dug it. I thought it was interesting.
Let me ask you this, Joe. So you're watching this documentary about Motorhead.
He's
When
Kyle live in 2012, you know, Tom. Yeah, I
good
think
for him. So I'm not that familiar with Motorhead. Like I know a couple of their songs, and you know, I know old Lemmy mostly from Troma movies. So that's kind of embarrassing for both of us. Not you, Lemmy and I, that is. And you know, Motorhead, I don't know where the name comes from. It makes me think of like some robot sucking dick or something. I don't know. Probably has something to do with the engine of a car. But you know, you're watching this movie, you're fucking watching this shit, looking back at Lemmy being alive, you know, them reminiscing their younger years, looking at the drummer and everything. So when you were watching this movie, did it put a spell on you? It's only one of two songs I know of theirs, Joe.
Well, Jake Taft just mentioned Hellraiser. You know,
Oh,
that's
see? Just wait a second, Jake. I was getting to it. I just wanted to set it up and run all the way out there before I threw the ball. Don't get there. Just wait for it. So did it put a spell on you, that is?
the documentary is on YouTube, just like the previous one. If anybody out there is a fan and hasn't seen this, hey, give it a watch. Tell them old BOYGOB.
Yeah, just leave a comment on the video.
BOYGOB sent me.
That's all you got to say. Oh, Joe, I watched some shit. I forgot what the fuck it was called. Something stupid. Maybe a disturbance in the force. It was a documentary about that Star Wars holiday special. You remember tuning into that when it first aired?
I do.
And that
all
is
excited.
why.
Oh, fuck. Ooh, Star Wars coming to television.
And then that tranny started cooking in the kitchen, and the grandpa put on that sex helmet and was watching VR pornography. And you know, they were just talking Wookiee for the first 20 minutes. So we didn't know what the fuck was going on. Well, not we, you guys collectively, because I don't think I was even sperm then. You hear that, old man? Anyways, this is why Joe hates Star Wars. But it was a documentary about this fucking thing. Bottom line, it was a product of the time. Stupid ass variety shows was the thing. Star Wars wasn't the mega hit that it blew up to be yet. So this was just a thing to get the brand out there and sell more toys, and that's it, no more, no less. Kevin Smith came and said, Star Wars, I love it. And I said, how did they get this guy? He doesn't usually do shit like this. But he was there, and yep, if you're interested in it, make sure you got a dirty carpet. And I'm not talking about your wife's pussy. I'm talking about your actual house, because it's good for background noise. Just vacuum the house while you're watching it. You don't need to hear everything. So, yeah, I mean, if you're a fucking Jedians, if you're some rebel scum, you've already seen this shit. But if you have just a slight interest, it's some background noise shit. It's fucking, I don't know. Like, it's who gives a fuck, really? I don't know what to say. Like, the special is fucking awful. I've seen it maybe 3 times because I'm a fucking jagoff, but the shit is fucking just awful.
They didn't
Would
talk
recommend.
special.
Excuse me?
They talked to anybody from the special.
Yeah, like people who wrote it, people who produced it, directed it, and shit like that. George Lucas popped up more than I could say for Stephen King. But I mean, yeah, and then they had your buddy, old Patton,
Hmm.
General Patton, that is. Sorry, didn't mean to. So surprisingly, they got him too. And then that guy from Ticks, what's his nut? Ticks, Idle Hands, Robot Chicken, whatever, Seth Meyers, Seth Green, some shit. One of
Yeah.
those fuckers were in it. Uh, Gilbert Godfrey was in it. That was the highlight. I said, "Oh, I thought you were dead." And then fucking like an eye patch just appeared on him, and he went, "Arr." And then it cut. That was a Snake Plissken reference I stumbled over there, Joe. But yeah, it was whatever. I'll never shop here again. That's for sure. I'm gonna go get a beer.
Tom is gonna go get a beer, and while he's getting
Still
that,
here.
let me. Oh, you got the fridge there.
It's gonna be a lot easier to do this now. And I got a jug right here for piss.
Hmm?
Well, good. This new setup's gonna work
Well, what?
until we get kicked off of YouTube for pissing in jugs live.
Uh, I watched a low budget action movie. No, there wasn't a lot of action. I wouldn't call. It's called Out of Exile, and it's about a guy that was recently released from prison. So what do you do when you're released from prison? You go back to the thing you know, and what he knows is robbery. You know, banks, armored cars, shit like that. And they're doing an armored car job, and brother.
What's that? Blowing armored cars?
Yeah. Wait till later. I know. I'm just waiting for. Yeah. Lowest common denominator shit that Tom will throw out there, and that's. Uh, so anyway, his brother is on, and his brother's like wired real tight, and shoot the guy, and it's like, hey, we don't do that. We don't shoot people. Like, you're a fucking thief, you rob banks, and you might have to kill somebody and then, it happens. It goes with the territory. Anyway, they go to give the money to get laundered to the guy that's, bringing them the jobs or whatever. He's a real piece of shit. Our main character, he's a thief, yes, but he's got a heart of gold, Tom. All he wants to do is reconnect with the daughter he lost touch with when he was in prison. But she wants nothing to do with him, Tom. Anyway, he's going to do one last job and set her up for life. More cliches happen. I don't know, some really lousy FBI acting people. They come on this movie sucked. It's just really, really bad. And like I said, you got, for this genre, any of those goddamn type of tropes, you like that word, it's in there. They got it, just bullshit. I do not recommend. Jake the Snake Roberts is in it. Forgot to mention that. and he's looking like he needs a fix really bad, or probably a cigarette. I've seen him at a show before, and he is a chain smoking motherfucker. This guy goes one after, and so he's hardly ever at his table. You know, uh, rest in peace, Jake the Snake.
Thinks what that's why he has all those lung problems.
Might be. I mean, I haven't seen The Wrestler, so I'm not real sure.
Do you think the crack smoke had anything to do with it?
Might be, but I'm not sure. I haven't seen The Wrestler.
Yeah, we're not doctors.
Mm-hmm.
They used to call me Dr. Love until that guy that one guy did, but then he got a cease and desist letter from the real Dr. Love. So stopped calling me that. And that was good because I don't want a dude calling me Dr. Love.
Yeah.
I'm glad they sent you that letter, Joe.
I'm glad you're in a better mood. You're not any funnier when you're not in a bad mood, but good.
I've seen you smirking off there a couple times there, Joe.
Kind of.
See, there was one. Hey, Joe. You like Urkel?
No.
You like jerkling off?
Depends.
You like Urkling off?
No?
This next review might not be for you then.
Okay.
But I'm going to say it anyways. I watched the new hit motion picture called How Urkel Saved Santa. No, I think it's called Urkel Saved Santa, the movie. And in it, Urkel doesn't save shit. But we'll get to that. So Urkel wakes up. He sings some shit about, oh, I loved it. That is not a fucking Urkel. I'm sorry, black nerds out there. That sounded nothing like you. But anyway, I don't think so. Anyways, Urkel's jerkling around singing his December song, how he loves December because it has all these big holidays, brings people together.
Because it's long, you see.
Yep. So Urkel says, fuck yeah, it's December 1st. I'm going to the mall, hoes. I'm going to see him plug in the fucking Christmas tree. This is the first day they got all the Christmas shit up. And it's like, that shit's up a couple days before Thanksgiving. I haven't been to a mall in fucking years and years and years. But that shit was always starting to come up before Thanksgiving. So right there, the movie's flawed. Ooh, I got you, the Urkel movie, motherfuckers. Anyways, they're just like, no, we're not putting shit up. Nobody comes to the mall anymore. What are you, from 1990? So he goes, they still have a Santa set up there. Blah, blah, blah. Bullshit, bullshit, bullshit. Urkel does Urkel shit, fucks up the Santa, and he says, oh, you know what? I'm going to make myself this little app. It'll tell me all these good deeds I can do, and I'll earn points. And then I'll show Santa I was doing these good deeds. So he'll bring me donkey cheese for Christmas. Because if you remember Family Matters, Joe, which I know you do, because you don't look like a racist, and I'm sure you watch this show, Urkel loved cheese. So anyways, this tech billionaire guy says, hey, this is a great app. I'm going to fucking give this app to everybody. And he does. And it turns the people, the townsfolk, everybody who's using this app, it turns them into mindless zombies just trying to get points. And Urkel says this is fucked. And somehow he meets Santa, but Santa isn't really Santa. Santa is actually a Yeti, Joe. You know what a Yeti is?
Yes, they're pretty abominable.
They are. Usually they draw them and draw them because, they're probably not real, but they draw them as these hulking mounds of white fur. Sometime it's like European American flesh tones. If you want to get crazy with it, it'll be blue flesh tones and shit. But if it's a Yeti, it's always white fur. Well, not in this one, Joe, because it's the Family Matters. No, it's not. It's not. I'm sorry I said that. This has nothing to do with Family Matters. It's the Urkel Saves Santa thing. So, Santa's actually a black Yeti. He sings some song to fucking Urkel. Some shit happens where they get rid of the app and fucking Urkel doesn't save Santa from shit. The end.
So who owns the Urkel character?
I don't know. I mean, they got Sonic to do the fucking voice of Urkel, so they brought him back.
Like, so who put this shit out?
What the fuck was it on? I don't know. I rented it off of Amazon. I think I remember Warner Brothers.
Okay.
So it might have been an HBO Max thing, but I don't, dude, Warner Brothers, like their new thing is we're going to make this nostalgia garbage and then say we're not going to release it, but we're really going to sell it to a different streaming service so they get the blame for it. I don't know who the fuck this was for. It was bullshit for sure. If they were trying to get the audience that watched Family Matters growing up, it has none of the fucking charm. It's still goofy fucking humor, but not as good. They should have made it a little more mature or gave it a little substance. It was fine. I don't know who I could recommend this to. Maybe an oddity. Oh, you grew up watching Family Matters. Subjugate yourself to whatever this is. But even then, it was another one of these. Hey, let's bring this property back for one more run on streaming. So, whatever. He didn't save shit, Joe.
That's too bad. Sounds like you should have saved your money.
Yep.
I watched a movie called The Mill. This is set in the future, maybe the near future. This guy's been working at this place for a while, but we'll get into that in a little bit because he just wakes up in a shitty room, and the only thing in there is a screen and a grist mill. Tom, do you know what a grist mill is?
Joe, last two Analversaries I had with Lori, we went to a restaurant called the Old Grist Mill, but not even that. It's a good old Beyond or the fucking Over the Garden Wall reference. So, Joe, I'm familiar with the old grist mills.
Yeah. So
Must be a pretty big room.
it's pretty big. It's pretty big, and it's also very high ceilinged. Uh, Now, what happened is his productivity at his job has been in decline. So they threw him in this room so he could,
What was his job? Being a straight white guy in America?
he's a black dude. Uh, a straight black dude in America, working for corporate shit. I don't know exactly what he does. They don't get into that. But yeah, so now what he's got to do is make a certain number of quota of rotations with this grist mill. He's got to push it, maybe like 50. Yeah, gotta push it. Get it. So yeah, and that's what the movie's about. And then he decides, well, fuck it, I'm going to show him I'm a hard worker. And they're like, okay, you did that. Now this is your new quota because you can do that, obviously. So there's other people in other rooms and, whatever. He tries to make an escape. That doesn't fucking work. And then eventually, yeah, they bring him out of it, Tom, at the end of the movie. It's like a big Twilight Zone episode. At the end of the movie, it was all like a training session, a neural fucking thing, and just some bullshit. He gets a promotion, and he turns to the camera at the end of it. I'm gonna burn this motherfucker to the ground. The movie ends, stupid as shit. Again, not the worst I've seen. Not bad enough to make a list, but definitely not good enough. 2023, the year of the average. The mill. I don't know if it's part of Huluween or not, but it is a Hulu original. He didn't get all big like in Conan the Barbarian when they put on a fucking the wheel of woe or some shit. No, the wheel of who knows. But anyway, that little kid grew up to be Conan from pushing the grist mill type thing. This guy was already grown, so it didn't matter, I guess. I don't know. Did you watch anything, Tom?
I did. I watched the music video for the Salt and Pepper classic, Push It. It's pretty good. Probably something a young man shouldn't watch, though. Joe?
So young anymore, Tom. Ugh.
Head on over to fastcustomshirts.com where you can find hundreds and hundreds of t-shirt designs. He actually printed something on the back of this hoodie, but I'm not going to spin this around to show it to you because it involves a lady performing a sex act. And, I thought it was weird that he would send me a hoodie like that, but that's okay. I had to man his table earlier or yesterday when he was running to the old bathroom, and a woman and her teenage son, they were looking through his box of used movies, and his mom pulled out one. She had a slight giggle, and his son was looking through the box, and he said, "Is there anything besides porno in here?" And then Joe came back to his table, and the lady was going to buy a shirt. And I said, "Hey, that's the pervert with the movies." And then Joe took her money.
Pornographic books, if they were interested in that as well.
She was, but she had her son with her. So, yeah, should have been aborted. Anyways, Joe, I watched How the Gringo Stole Christmas, starring your boy, George Fluffy Lopez.
Jorge.
So that's right. It's because he's Mexican American, you see. Can you believe it, Joe? In this movie, he's a Mexican American. Wait, living in East LA. Can you believe that shit? So in this one,
He
I
opened
think
a place in Houston, Texas.
I looked in a little bit on that today, Joe. It turns out that was one of those, as the kids say, ghost restaurants, where like companies buy like wings, legendary flavor, 16-time world champion, woo wings. So it's like that, but these people just sell their names to these fucking existing restaurants so they can get app orders Like, oh yeah, I want some Ric Flair wings. I'm gonna go to old Powerbomb Pizza and get the Bret Hart pizza. And it's just you're getting Jimmy's House of Slop that, probably doesn't sell shit. So there's like, oh yeah, I'll sign up for this. I don't have self-respect. So it was just like some random taco place who bought his name and did that shit. So
Techno Comics.
oh shit. So I'm guessing you mitigated the kayfabe effect. So we're talking about that on a recent video. So good for you, Joe. You get ahead of the game. Anyways, in this one, George Lopez plays a guy named Benny, and he calls his daughter to say, "Hey, come home for Navidad." That might be Christmas. That could be another word. I don't think Christmas is Feliz, but whatever. His daughter's grown. She's probably in her mid 20s. And he says, "Come back for Christmas." And she does. Unfortunately, her boyfriend's a European American. And
What?
yep, white. They call him the informer. That's how white he is, Joe. So the whole movie is just George Lopez like, ooh, this white guy, and the white guy trying to do good, and he says stereotypical Spanish things like a white guy, and they have a soccer tournament to because that's what they do. And oh, this movie is so cheap. I can't believe George Lopez is in it. I don't know what the fuck happened. Maybe an ugly divorce or
Yeah,
she had a
he
lot of money.
managed his money well because he had one of the highest rated shows on TV at one point. You know,
I used to watch the George Lopez show all the fucking time.
and that shit ran for a number of seasons. Right? It was on for a good number of years.
And then it got syndication. It was on Nick at Night and shit.
Yeah.
Now I don't know what the fuck happened to the dude, but he literally looks like a Freddy Krueger. Like he fell face first into a fire. Like shit is all fucking looks like he should be selling Big Macs in the late 1980s. For you younger viewers out there, McDonald's had a moon-faced mascot at one point. Joe, I laughed a
All
lot.
kings have fallen. The once mighty Latin kings of comedy, Tom.
Dude, this shit was fucking funny. I had I had a few like genuine laughs because like I said, I watched the George Lopez show and shit. So I'm just like, yeah, he's all right, but a lot of racist shit, a lot of stereotypes, a lot of terrible filmmaking and acting. Like there's fucking, there's the stereotypical Mexican guys who just hang out in front of their cars doing their little Mexican dance and shit, the cholos, as they call it. So it's all the typical stuff they would do, only like, a PG-13 version. So it's not too crazy. But I laughed, Joe. I laughed a lot. It was a big improvement over Jerkland Saves Christmas or whatever the fuck didn't happen in that other movie. But yeah, get some buddies together, get some beer, get some legal marijuana, and watch fucking How the Gringo Stole Christmas. Cause again, he didn't steal shit. He was just a nice guy trying to give his girlfriend a fucking happy Merry Christmas. And even in the end, there's title cards and I don't know, because they were just trying to do anything to save this like cheat dude. This movie is barely a step above Hoochie Mama drama, for real. Like, that's how low quality this fucking movie is. It is shocking that George Lopez, like, stars in this thing. He doesn't pop up, like, sitting on a couch every couple scenes, you know? He's fucking in this motherfucker, starring in it. It was crazy as shit. So, highly recommend checking this shit out. It is fucking good stuff, hot stuff. Would
Can I
recommend and watch again.
George Lopez after we're done recording tonight and see what the hell happened?
Oh shit, it turns out he molested a bunch of children, and then the families of said children came and burned him down. He was living in a woodshed in the back of a school. You see, he had a fucking torture room down in the school's boiler room. See, that's all in reference to Freddy Krueger as a joke if anybody thinks this stuff actually happened to old Jorge. I'm pretty sure it did not. It was all for comical effect, allegedly.
I just hate to see one of the Rasa be brought down like that, Tom. You know, after climbing such heights.
And then he fell in that fire 'cause his legs slipped on the ladder.
Probably listening to some Metallica and jumped.
What you say? Hero nature! Right?
Oh.
Yeah.
Tom, I watched a movie called May, December. I think that's what it was called. It was a couple of months in the titles, and I'm pretty sure one of them was December. So it's the perfect time to watch this film. This is one of those ripped from today's headlines type movies, but it's not today's headlines. The shit they're referencing throughout the movie is the case where a lady who was a teacher, she hooked up with one of her students, seventh grade student, and people found out about it, and it was a big thing, and she was convicted and sent to jail. She did some time. She gets jail, resumes her relationship with this now adult kid. You know, he's now of legal age, 17 or 18 or whatever, and married.
Nice.
And then they've been together ever since. So what? You're still a pedophile, lady. You're a piece of shit. So this movie is about this actress that's going to be playing this lady in a movie. So she goes to visit her, so she can learn about her and learn some nuances.
The documentary?
No, it's a movie. It's a fictional, but it's based on this couple, if you want to call them.
So does the real life lady, the real life people, do they play themselves?
No, this is Natalie Portman, who you know from your Star Wars shit, and
Poor woman. Don't be sexist.
is it Natalie Portman or is it other
Poor
girl?
woman.
Anna Paquin, maybe Anna. I don't know.
She
But
played Rogue, you know.
then there was Julianne Moore plays the pedophile lady, and it's just about her, you know, coping with life on a daily basis, and also her husband, now an adult. But is he, Tom? Is he, or is he mentally stunted by the trauma that he, you know, did she keep him mentally as a kid because that's what she's into? I don't know. It asks these questions, but it really doesn't. The movie just kind of moves along. The lady that wants to play her, or that's going to play her in the movie, she's getting kind of weird and shit, you know.
Damn, she got fucking Al Pacino'd and cruising. She's like getting into it, looking at herself in the mirror and shit.
I'm here. You know, there's not a lot going on in this flick, but it is incredibly acted. The three main actors just God damn, they're gonna win so many as soon as the Essence Awards are announced. I'm sure all three are gonna be nominated for shit. Uh, incredible acting, but even with that, I don't really recommend this movie. Kind of slow, not a lot of shit going on. Eh.
Seems pretty good.
Oh, you would dig it.
Ooh, yeah. Joe, I watched a new Christmas horror movie called There's Something in the Barn. So, an American family inherits I think it's a Norwegian home with a barn on it. They're saying, all right, the dad's like, we need a change in life. So we're going to go to fucking Norway, move all our shit, uproot our life, and, turn this house and barn into a bed and breakfast.
They're
The
living
way they live in what?
your dream.
Fuck no, I don't want to be around that many white people. I could barely stand myself. You think I want to go to a land of only white people? No, thank you. That would be a pass for me. So, of course, the teenage daughter hates it because her friends are her life. And the stepmom, she's, trying to go along with it, but she's not thrilled. The son's, whatever, hot, cold, whatever. He's maybe 12, maybe 13, maybe 14. That'll be important later. And then the father is played by the Satanist guy from Silicon Valley with the glasses who just talks like this.
Mm-hmm.
So the kid goes in the barn and there seems to be an elf living in that there barn, Joe. And throughout the movie, it's referred to as a barn elf, which sounds extremely fucking racist. So for now on, that's what I'll be referring to white people as. So it turns out I'm not sure if it's really or not, but he sees this museum in the center of town, which is just a bunch of fucking bullshit fenced in. And it's like, oh, the fucking Barn Elf History Museum or whatever. And they're really yard gnomes. So I don't know what the fuck's going on here. He's just like, oh yeah, shum 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 shim shim shum. He was speaking English, but he was talking like them, and they didn't have subtitles, so I caught like half of what this fucking guy was saying. And he was pretty much saying, "Oh yeah, this fucking barn elf, you got to treat him right, and he'll treat you right. But if you don't, ooh, he's gonna get you." So, I mean, the barn elf's funny because it's not like a CGI thing. It's like a midget dressed up like David the gnome. So every time you see him try to walk and not fall over, you laugh a little bit. Uh yeah, and then it's just, the fucking barn elf, he doesn't get his oatmeal or whatever on Christmas. So he's, oh, I'm gonna call the rest of the barn elves and we're gonna take siege on you. So it's just the family fighting all these fucking midgets, and like it has the feel of like one of those 90s straight to videos garbage ass. Oh, this little kid finds this creature movie and tries to make it its friend. But the kid's way too fucking old for that shit. And the movie's kind of soft, even though there's like a couple fucks and there's some blood and gore in it. It just comes off like a soft ass dad joke of a fucking movie. They never really go for shit. At the end, like this fucking barn elf, this dirty fucking barn elf, He like kills everybody, him and his fucking dirty fucking barn elf brethren. They're fucking killing these people. And at the end, the kid's like, oh, can we keep him? Please? What the fuck? No, but give him to the museum. He can fucking live his life there. They already have fucking barn elf houses for these fucking barn elves. So just fucking go and live there. And it's kind of, he looks back with it at the end and fuck this shit. God damn, it was fucking lame. Like, if they just would have went for it a little bit more and not just been like it's just weird. It's like a soft fucking movie. There is some like gore and blood in it and there is some swear words, but it just comes off so fucking bitchly. It just left a bad taste in my mouth. You know, kind of like the taste I think all these fucking barn elves probably have in their mouth all the time, but I'll never shop here again. Would not recommend. Don't make this movie with all these dirty fucking barn elves part of your fucking holiday tradition because it won't be part of mine. Not with all those dirty fucking barn elves in it. They're lawn gnomes.
I watched a movie called Influencer. Do you know what an influencer is, Tom?
It's you.
Not me.
You.
Not you.
You're an influencer.
We
Show them tits, Joe, but not the nipples, just the tits.
So yeah, so this movie starts out, this lady's on vacation in Thailand and she's taking pictures and taking videos, and but she's really at a resort, you know, not really doing anything, not hanging out with anybody. Why? Because her boyfriend was supposed to go with her, but then plans changed. He couldn't go. He says, "Hey, you still go. I'll meet you up there after a while," or some shit. And anyway, she's not liking things. It's boring as fuck for her, and she's been losing followers, Tom, lately, and you know she's not happy about that. And oh fuck, you know she's just sitting in a bar. Some old British guy starts hitting on her, and this
What did that sound like?
I don't remember because character. This guy's character.
Just make it, hey bird, you want to suck me worm? Yeah, just any bullshit to fucking make a mockery of those people, Joe.
Sounded Australian for sure. Uh, Anyway, this other girl walks up and says, "Hey, you get a rest, you dumb fucking limey." And you know, she's a weird looking chick, Tom. She's pretty, but she's got this fucking disfigurement on her face, you know, like some weird ass birthmark, whatever that nobody ever really comments on, you know. Anyway, she befriends the other girl. They start going. She says, I'll take you where the real food is, islands, you know. And this girl's getting better pictures. Hey, don't take my picture, you know. I don't want to be on social media. I don't like social media. Say, hey, yeah, no problem. They go back to the resort, and this girl's place had been broken into, Tom. And what's gone? Her passport is gone. You know, so she's got to stick around in Thailand another couple of weeks before she can get her passport back. You know, and they're becoming closer friends or whatever. And she goes, "Hey, you know what? I'm gonna take you someplace that's just off the charts." You know, so she gets in her little boat, takes her out to a deserted island, and you know they're having a good night. You know, they're just there by the fire, and she said, "Oh man, this reminds me like of when I was back in the Girl Scouts or whatever, and we used to tell ghost stories and stuff, and you know." It's like, but you know, you could be setting this up. You could be trying to kill me. You know, you brought me out here because it's the perfect place to kill me. And the girl says, "No, I'm just gonna leave you here." You know. Ha 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 ha. They go to sleep. She wakes up. Yeah, that chick left her there. You know, this is like 20 minutes, 20 minutes have elapsed, and opening credits roll.
Fuck.
Fucking weird, you know? But,
That means they think very highly of themselves.
do. And this is not an A24 film, but it's kind of, it hooked me. You know, it was interesting. So that's what this girl does. She likes to destroy social influencers, and then she takes over their account for a little while just to get their money, you know, to figure out passwords and shit like that so she can sustain her lifestyle. And then she's on the next one. But things ain't going as easy with this next one, Tom. And this other girl's boyfriend, he does show up in Thailand looking for her, so things get complicated. She's having to do more bullshit than she normally has to do for this sort of thing, and then it gets kind of boring. You know, it's a good movie for 2/3 of it, and then it's just, man, I don't really give a shit about this bitch anymore. Like, I know how this is gonna end, you know, and it did end how I thought. She's gonna go back to the island to get rid of a body or something. That girl's gonna be alive. Sure was. That girl was alive still after 4 weeks later or some shit. And that girl beats the shit out of her, gets in the boat, and leaves the other girl there. The end. Uh, Very disappointing. This is on a lot of best of horror lists. And like I said,
There was nothing horror about what you said.
yeah, it's not a horror. It's a thriller or whatever. But it could have been something good, man. I mean, it was well acted. Like I said, that hook. And then it just fucking fizzled out long before the end. You know, not long, but, you know, long enough to where, like, you know, when you start pressing pause to see how much, you know, how much longer is this going on? Really? That much longer? Holy shit. Why?
See what I do now, because if you press pause, that means you just gotta sit around watching this movie longer for, like, it adds that couple seconds that it's paused for. Just, let the movie keep playing and just squat down and look at the actual DVD player, because it'll display the number on there, so it'll save you some time. Because if you gotta pause it to see, you're already not liking this movie, so just look at the display on the DVD player. It'll tell you.
Wasn't a DVD. You know, this was
You
streamed.
and the screaming, God damn it.
Hmm. This is a 2023 movie, Tom.
All right. Well, instead of pressing pause, just hit like the up arrow on the menu pad, and then it should pop right up
Okay.
instead of having to pause. And say, I wasted 4 seconds more of my life on this than I had to.
Santa pause.
Well, Joe.
Hey, Tom.
Nah, I'll save that and do a Blu-ray review when we're off. The last thing I watched was A Creature Was Stirring. This is a new 2023 horror movie. Oh boy. Okay.
Take a breath.
Elephant in the room. This lady, the lead actress. She was big. Real big. Maybe that's what the script called for. I don't want to mock this person because of their weight. Whatever they have going on. I fucking have a steady diet of linguine and beer, so I'm a big fat guy. But you don't usually see lead actresses like her.
It's a new day, Tom.
Yes, it is. That was a royalty-free New Day entrance theme. So in it, this lady, she plays like She's a mom. She's a mom now and a nurse. She went and got her nursing certificate and all that. And she used to be a party girl, like a big time party girl. It took over her life, made terrible decisions. She was doing all these drugs, including heroin.
Hmm.
And there's flashbacks, same actress, not any different looking or anything. You think, what heroin? This actress? What? Well, Artie Lang, I guess. Whatever. I'll just fucking go with it. So you're supposed to buy this lady is like this ex-hardcore party girl. Meanwhile, she has a daughter who's up locked in her room because the daughter was young and the mom was still a party girl, the mom made it up to her daughter all her years of drug abuse, going around being this hot bitch, sucking every dick in the room, doing all the drugs and shit. She made all this up to her by taking her to the zoo. So her drugged up mom gets into some scuffle with something. The daughter doesn't want to hear it, so she runs away to the porcupine pen. And there she gets attacked by a porcupine, which I guess turns the daughter into a were porcupine. So now the mom's, dealing with a were porcupine daughter, how you will, when suddenly two burglars break into her house, but they're not really burglars. They're just missionaries trying to get out of the cold. So it's the missionaries with this big woman and the missionaries with this porcupine creature. And it all turns out to be a bunch of bullshit, Joe, because in the end, we're the monsters, you see. And this lady's just manifesting her drug abuse as this fucking porcupine monster. And you can all go suck a fucking dick. Fuck you all. It's trying so hard to be deep in this fucking meaningful, thought out thing. And oh, does it suck all the dicks in the room like that party girl? And I started out saying, "Oh yeah, this is a new Christmas horror movie." I mean, sure, there's Christmas lights out there. There's this giant snowstorm. Even like the snowstorm is so big, it's covering up the whole door to the house. Like all the snow's covering it. They have to dig a hole to go all the way to the mailbox. Giant snowstorm. Next day, it's all melted and gone. Oh no, just she's a crazy bitch, all fucked up on drugs. Don't mind that. We're the monsters. Bye. Bullshit. Bullshit. Haven't watched one of these We're the Monster things in a while, but they're still making them, Joe, with Rubenesque women,
Hmm.
which was great. Like they even throw like a subplot of one of the fucking missionaries. Oh yeah, I'm into big women. And it turns out, that's fucking her boyfriend. It's not because she's making all this up. But that's her boyfriend when she was a party girl. He was trying to get her into the church and turn her life around. She's like, nah, baby, I'm going to suck that dick. And she shoots him up with heroin. He has an overdose and dies, and she feels bad about it. So she's manifesting this bullshit. It sucks.
Well, that is something to feel bad about, you know?
It's not like, it's not even like, oh yeah, I used to be this skinny, emaciated fucking heroin addict, and to get over my fucking troubles, I started eating cupcakes and shit. It's like the whole thing is just silly. Sorry, but shit. Speaking of which, my stomach is turning, and I might have to run in diarrhea all over the place, Joe. And we still got a bunch to talk about.
do.
Do you still have movies to?
I do.
How many?
Do.
Joe, stretch them out. I cannot bring my phone with me.
All right.
Thank you. Ooh, I got it.
So, Tom should know by now that he take a dump before I also had a bit of a stomach issue throughout the day today, but seems to have been cleared up. Even though I ate some ramen not too long ago with a lot of that cock sauce. I forgot what it's called, sriracha something, whatever. That shit's hot. I love it. But that's kind of stupid to do when your stomach's already all roiling and boiling and you've been in the shitter for a lot of the part of the day. But anyway, nobody ever said I was smart. Um, so the movie that I watched is called In My Mother's Skin. And if you've seen Pan's Labyrinth, well, this is like a Filipino remake of Pan's Labyrinth, kinda, sorta. There's a lot of similarities between the two movies. So this one also, like that one, takes place in a war-torn area, war-torn country. In the latter's case, it was Spain and their revolution or whatever. And this one, it's fucking World War II. And the Philippines, they got fucked over like a lot of people did by the Japanese. Japanese were just in there fucking shit up. Americans took their time getting there to clean house on that shit. Anyway, this guy is a successful merchant. He has his house, his nice, spacious house, isolated a bit away from the cities, villages, what have you. So he still seems to be doing okay, but maybe not. Maybe he stole some gold from the Japanese, and they might be wanting it back. Well, there is a guy that definitely wants it, and he is working with the Japanese, so he comes over to talk to these folks. Uh, the guy's got a pretty wife, but she's very sickly. You know, Something's wrong with her. She's not doing too good. Coughing all the time and whatnot. And he's got two children, young daughter, young son, and they're kids. They don't know what the fuck. They got a dog. They're a good family, right? They got it all. But anyway, the dad has to go answer some questions, you see. And he's gone for a few days, and they're like, well, what the fuck? Is he ever coming back? Mom's getting sicker. So the kids decide to go out for a walk, and they come across like an old, decrepit looking house. They go in there, there's dead bodies in there. Where the other kid, he's wandering around. He finds a bunch of dead bodies in a ditch. And then the girl encounters a fairy. You see, and this is where I'm glad that Tom's not here, because he would have just started giggling right now. And this is, he will when he listens to it. So she encounters this fairy that says, the fairy's like, hey, I can help you out, whatever. I can, give this to your mom, and she'll be all right. And it's a jar with a cicada in it, and the cicadas, they let the fairy know what's going on all over the place. So the girl's reluctant, but she finally gives the mom the jar, and out crawls a little cicada, whatever, and it crawls into the mom's mouth. And the mom's up the next day. Hey, holy shit, it worked. Mom's fine. She's not. She's hungry for blood. That's right. Mom's going through some changes. Shit's not good. And from there, things get more and more fucked up. you know? And the fairy, she's not on the side of good. Nope. She's on the side of evil. Bad shit happens. Bad shit. If you don't like movies where dogs get hurt or where children get hurt, this has both of those. So it's a double whammy. Uh, it's got some decent effects. It's got some not so decent effects with the CGI, but I'm very impressed with this movie. I liked Pan's Labyrinth a lot, and if we want to call this a remake, it's a damn good remake. It's done on a much smaller budget, but it's good, and it has that rarity of having children that can actually act, that can pull off their job. Uh, there's some things you don't see in a whole lot of movies, like a kid getting shot. It's kind of shocking to see that thing. There's also a scene where the little girl is, she's about to shoot somebody. She's got a pistol in her hand, and she fires that fucking, and she gets knocked on her ass from the blowback from the gun. Like, hey, that's it's kind of funny, but it's like shit. You never see that. It's like, yeah. If you never shot a gun before, especially you're a kid, that's gonna fuck. I recommend this flick. I haven't final assessment yet, but it will more than likely make a list this year. It's streaming. I think I watched it on Amazon, and I recommend it. I fucking dug it. Hey, Tom's back.
Sorry about that, Joe. The bubble guts started to hit, the percolator popped off, and luckily I didn't have to hose down my legs. However, I'm not sure if I got everything out, but I knew you were doing this and waiting, so I shoved my butt crack full of toilet paper, came back down here, sat down too quick, and ended up fucking my own butt with wadded up paper. But that's all right.
Now, the final movie I watched.
I had more time.
You did. You
I'll
told
be
me that.
back.
That's what I was doing. It's called The Fist of the Condor. And this is a weird one, too, because I think this is maybe from Peru or some shit. But it's
Fuck yeah. You know who else is from Peru, don't you?
Mr. Belvedere.
Paddington, that's right.
Paddington is making a list. But it is a martial arts flick, that from Peru or some Spanish-speaking country. And I'm going to tell you right now, this motherfucker's badass. This is a good movie. This is you don't need much when you make a kung fu or martial arts thing. You don't need much in the way of story. And this one doesn't have much, It's about two brothers that are at odds with each other. They're fucking gone to war, Tom. They're gone to war. And it all stems from this book, this ancient book, Tom, that teaches a mystical martial art that can elevate you to the peak of perfection, that'll make you unstoppable, Tom. So we, during the course of the movie, in between all the fights and shit, and god damn, are these some well choreographed fights, This shit looks good. But, if you're not into the old school shit where people can jump real high and shit or spin around 20 times in the air, this isn't for you. It's definitely for me. Whole lot of fun. Characters that are distinctive. That's another thing you need in a martial arts flick, something that makes them stand out. This has that. This has some ridiculous training
Montage.
shit. It's not a montage, but the movie does have some weird music. I'll give it. Yeah. And then the movie stops. And I thought it was another chapter break, told in chapters. But then the credits start rolling. It's like, what the fuck just happened. This movie just stopped. It didn't, where's the big final confrontation that we were waiting for? And I looked it up, like maybe I missed something. Maybe the brothers were the same person, and it's like, it's trying to be philosophical about it. I said, no way I would have fucking missed that. I was into this movie. I was watching it, I wasn't on my phone or anything. But no, it just stopped. And nothing online tells me of like, hey, this is gonna be a two-part movie, like everything fucking is, but I don't know. But goddamn, was it good until that moment, until that jarring moment where I didn't get the final confrontation between the two brothers. This will probably make a list.
Even though it lets you down and you
on,
wanted more?
For those of you that want to watch it, no, it's not Condor Man. Roop, I've never watched Condor Man. I wanted to when I was a kid, and then I don't know if that's ever been on DVD or Blu-ray or anything. I think that's a Disney property. How, maybe they're ashamed of it or something. But yes, Fist of the Condor. I'm hoping for a sequel because I would like a little conclusion. I would like some closure in my life, as they say, people in therapy and all that. But that's all I watched, Tom.
Joe?
Hey, Tom.
Got any George Kennedy facts?
I again did not look up George Kennedy facts, but hopefully we'll get another chance for that, if you've chosen wisely after this, to continue on the George Kennedy horror road that we've been on, which not very good entry this time, Tom. And we're talking about Brain Dead from 1990. This has a all-star cast with what's the guy's name? Pullman. Bill Pullman. Also has another Bill that is no longer with us, and that's Bill Paxton. It has Bud Cort from one of my favorite movies, Harold and Maude, and of course we've got George Kennedy. This flick is about a guy that's a neuroscientist. He studies the brain, and he specializes in people that have had breakdowns and schizophrenia and shit like that. And he's got a collection of brains. But this movie is all about falling brains, so a lot of brains in jars fall. And this guy is being recruited to, like, hey, there's this other guy that's just gone crazy on us, and he has some secrets that we need in his
He's
mind.
not so much being recruited as he's being coerced into helping a buddy do some unethical things so the buddy can keep his job.
Well, I was going to get to that, Tom. So when the recruitment doesn't work, he begins to get, as Tom said, coerced, or as I would say, coerced, tomato.
Hey!
He interviews the guy that they want him to do this operation on to recover his memories or shut him the fuck down, so he doesn't tell anybody this secret information. But
what secret information? Why is he being hired for this? Well, there's a company that this gentleman works for that he has some numbers that are never explained, but this company needs the numbers that is in this guy's head for some reason, for something. So you got to say there's a big company behind this.
Yeah, what Tom just said. Uh, I don't know, because I'm already.
Why not? Because it sucks, and none of this means fucking anything. It's all bullshit with 5 minutes of actual movie, and it all sucks dick. Not just any dick, but the dicks of a dead dog, you see.
The guy's hit by a car, his head hits the windshield.
No, you can't say, oh, the guy's hit by a car. There's a very clumsily shot auto accident. And it's shot clumsily because you're really not supposed to know what happened. Just that somebody got hit by a car, maybe.
And from there, it's just a series of strange things happening or not happening because this guy's fucking been in.
I'm hit by a car. I just keep having seizures. And these are all my seizure visions. Fuck you. Why don't you all go suck a dick making me watch this fucking bullshit? Fuck everybody who had anything to do with this movie.
Except George Kennedy, who is
Fuck
great
him.
ways. Yeah, he is the president of the company that Tom spoke of and just fucking tearing it up with some, again, tremendous acting, doesn't give a shit how bad the production is. He's going to give it his all. And that's what he did. Yeah, I'm not fond of this kind of movie. They make a lot of them where at the end it's like, oh, he was, suffering the whole time. And this was just, that worked maybe in like Jacob's Ladder. I like that. The same shit, Carnival.
Yeah, that's like this, but this sucks all the dicks in the room.
Yeah, Carnival of Souls, where she was dead the whole fucking time. The Hellraiser, where that shit happened too. It's this one is the worst of them though. That I'd say this was just shit, just one thing after another. There's a scene where guys like a closet is a ledge, and there's some shitty ass superimposed sky behind him. Yeah, it sucks. Bill Pullman, he's a great actor now, but there was a long period of time that I just thought he sucked. He grew into his job eventually. This is one of the moments where he sucks. He just fucking no charisma. Don't give a fuck about him. His line delivery is shit. Of course, he doesn't have much to work with because there's not much of a script. Even fucking what's his name? The Bill Paxton.
The guy from Frailty.
Yeah, who is usually fucking excellent, but if you don't have anything to work with, you're gonna suck too, and he does. Not a good movie at all. And I guess there's a reason I hadn't seen it before, because nobody talks about it, I guess the people that have seen it, they don't fucking remember, Not good.
Yeah. Dio enthusiast Kyle Gash shows up at the very end under a mask. But beyond that, there's nothing really noteworthy. He plays one of the fucking doctors operating, if you were wondering. But yeah, this is just a big fuck you. It's just who cares? Once you find out what this is, it's just, well, who gives a fuck? Fuck you.
Yeah, well, and that's essentially what the filmmaker is saying to the audience. Fuck you. Because, yeah.
Yeah, like this whole movie happens because the car accident was shot like it was in Cheeseballs. Just as shoddy and, confusing as it can be, to where you're not really sure what happened and who it happened to. So it's purposely garbage. So the bulk of just stuff can happen. oh, this guy killed this guy, but they're saying I'm this guy, but he's coming back and saying, no, I'm really him, but is he really me? What's going on? Oh, I was hit by a car, so my fucking brain's broken, and the doctors are trying to save me from dying, but yeah, I just died, so who cares? All right, bye. Shout out to home video where anything could have got made and released. Yeah, fuck this. We watched a lot of shit. Masters of Horror, Hellraiser, Andy Sedaris shit, Gamera. This is up there with them.
Yeah, I'll put this one like with Paddington for sure. I don't know.
You're a fucking racist, Joe. So let's do one more George Kennedy movie. You tell me, and then when we come back in the new year, we'll do another director series. You know, we've had a good track record with this guy in the past. We watched the Machete movies, which we both liked. We both liked Planet Terror. So let's fucking knock a couple more out. We'll do Sin City and A Dame to Kill 4, which you never seen, so it'll be fucking great. You'll be able to see that movie finally. So let me know the George Kennedy joint, and when we start the new year, we'll take a trip down the back alley of Sin City, and you might be able to find everything you need, Joe. How about that?
All right.
You need something good to watch, you see, to start things out with.
I like Death Ship. Tom, Spider-Man's number what? 188?
188. And it turns out I read this one earlier in the week. And I couldn't remember shit. And when I reread it, I was like, oh, yeah, it's another issue of Spider-Man. That's why.
Hey, Tom, I read it an hour ago, and I can hardly fucking remember. Very forgettable tale featuring Jigsaw, who would eventually become a Punisher villain, one of the main Punisher villains. He's just
Punisher showed up in the pages of Amazing Spider-Man first, you see.
Yeah, one had an okay cover. You know, I kind of like that.
I mean, it wasn't okay. It's just different.
Yeah, it's different enough for me to like it. You know? But yeah, I didn't like anything going on in here. What? They're going on a boat cruise, a midnight boat cruise. Old Pete and the gang, and Aunt May's nursing home now. And hey, fucking Peter Parker finally shows some emotion. Not, you know, him being a prick. You know, he breaks down and starts crying. You know, like, man, you know, I've let you down. Man, you have, dude. This guy has totally let down the one woman that's been there for him through all kinds of shit. What a fucking prick. That's my big takeaway out of rereading or reading for the first time all this fucking years. We've read years now of Spider-Man. Is he's not a likable character at all. You know, he's just a prick. Yeah, this is another stupid shit.
It's a continuation from the last issue. It was part of old Jigsaw's plan to get the power grid all fucked up so they can take Jameson's son's body out of cryostasis.
Right.
And then his fucking henchmen are a bunch of bitches and starts fucking bitching and moaning, saying, oh, we're always getting beat. I'm scared of the Spider-Mans. Oh, why can't we do some stuff that, you know, will help us? All right, let's go rob a cruise ship. Oh, god damn it, Spider-Man's here too. And then Jigsaw has the fucking ability. You know, old ruthless ass Jigsaw. I'll kill any motherfucker for anything. Oh, I don't have it in me to shoot the Spider-Man.
Hmm.
Okay.
Yeah, and that's how that ends. Over in Marvel Up, it was Doctor Strange this week, and then in the other one, it was, more of the Magia. You know, call it Mafia. They call them the Magia. That was
They didn't want to get sued by the family, you see.
and that was not good. Marvel Team Up's the better one because it's got John Bernhardt and Chris Claremont's doing some cool shit there. Amazing, anything but.
It sucks a dick. Hey, Joe.
Hmm.
You like lists?
Not really. Yeah, when he ever asked, what's the list? Hey, what am I doing right now? Oh, I'm cleaning the bathroom. All right, let's do our top 5 cleaning products. Yeah, because that's a list we haven't done. You know,
That's right. You guys asked for it, so you're getting it.
bucks. Uh, and at number 5 on that list, I have Comet. You know what? That shit works. Works real good. It's cheap, cheap as fuck. You know. I bet you everybody here watching, all 3, 4 of you, has some Comet under the sink.
You
Comet.
know, the Tanners named their dog Comet.
Yes.
It's the family from Full House.
Hmm?
At number 5, I have acetone. You know, it's kind of a harsh chemical. Probably shouldn't rub it all over your hands to get shit off of it, but it works, and sometimes you think that's the right thing to do. So, acetone.
At number 4, I have Mean Green. Yep, all the grease cutting Mean Green. This is the best thing you can get to clean your fucking grill. You know, get it out there and get that grill shining up again. And yeah, shit works. Probably use it on a lot of shit that I shouldn't. But fuck it, it works.
My number 4, you're out working on your car, whether it doing something in the hood, under the hood, getting your fucking changing your brakes out, doing
Where the hood at?
where the hood, where the hood, where the hood at. Not gonna say the next one because of the end person. Rest in empowerment, Dark Man. So, you're under the hood, hood, doing some work on your car. And you got all this grease all over your mitts. You're just, I'll just wash them with some Dawn. I see them. They stick fucking ducks underwater after they're covered in oil. Some Dawn's in there that all comes off them. And the ducks can fucking go wah, wah, and fucking walk and be happy and live uncancerous lives.
Sell
But,
that shit that they do.
you humans, on your human skin, you try and use that to get, it doesn't work. So you got to get that orange tub of Gojo. Put a little bit of that all over your hands and poof, automatically off. So I think those commercials may be fibbing to you.
At number 3, I have a window cleaner. Guess you could say Dex, but you can get the fucking generic brand. It works just as good. If it's that blue shit, god damn, is that good for making that mirror, getting all the fucking dust and shit off of it? Hey, there's another mirror. Oh shit, let's do the windows now because this stuff works really good.
Mirar.
Hmm?
Mirar. You see.
Yes.
Joe, my number 3 is good old fashioned alcohol. You can clean a lot of fucking shit up with rubbing alcohol, from like painting perma blood on your hands to microchips and computer pieces and such. Good stuff. You can even clean out legal marijuana pipes with it. You put some in a Ziploc bag, put a little salt in there, shake it around, liquid sandpaper, baby.
Also good for cleaning a wound, you know?
Oh shit, no. Most doctors would say don't use that shit.
Well, I do.
It's all right.
At number 2, Tom, and I'm pretty sure you thought this was going to be my number 1. It's old Fabuloso. God damn, you know? It just smells so fucking great. You know, it's like, you walk into a place and you smell that Fabuloso. It just smells fucking clean. This place has been cleaned well because I smell the Fabuloso. They should make fucking Fabuloso candles. You know, that would be great. This shit is badass. Fabuloso. Fabuloso. It is so.
Joe, if we were of the same race, our number 2s would have lined up perfectly. Unfortunately, I'm a dirty fucking barn elf, and you're a Mexican American gentleman. And my number 2 is lemon scented Mr. Clean. Does it work? I don't know, but after you use it, it smells like it worked. I'm always disappointed when I go to the store and they're out of lemon scented and I got to get the blue shit or something. It's like, I don't know if it worked or not now. This
Right.
is fucked. But yeah, it's these little things that divide us, Joe. As a people, we need to get over these hurdles and just know that Mr. Clean is far superior than Fabuloso.
No. Tom, at number 1, toilet paper. For cleaning your ass, you see. But you can clean other shit with it too, get a nosebleed or something, you stick it up there in your fucking nose and clean your nose up. Uh, maybe you dropped something, in the toilet, in the bathroom, and you're like, fuck, oh, I don't have any paper towels here. Got some toilet paper. It's a quick fixer upper, is what it is, Tom. In fact, that's a good logo for it. Quicker fixer upper. Yeah, they should start using that. Uh, Toilet paper.
Maybe they should call it the quilted picker fixer upper.
Double ply.
Hmm. Well, my number 1, we were talking about a lot of harsh chemicals on this list. But sometimes the good old organic, natural, chemical free way will work. And anytime you can just use water to clean anything and avoid those harsh chemicals, because it brings life after all, Joe. So I went with water.
Pretty good, Tom.
Thanks. It's a thinking man's number 1.
It is. It's a thinking man's list this week.
Next week, I didn't even have to pick shit because it's that time of fucking year. We're doing not 1, but 2 lists. And not just 2 lists, but they'll actually be honorable mentions for this one. So we're doing our best and worst movies of 2023. And then we're going to fuck off for a week and be back and talk about fucking Mickey Rourke and shit. But Joe, let me ask you a question before we fuck off and tell all these people to have a wonderful fucking holiday season, mostly Christmas, because we know our audience. And hopefully they'll be able to spend fucking great times with their families or maybe just feel a little less suicidal that day, Joe. Let me ask you something. You like presents?
I don't know. Sometimes I do. Sometimes I don't, Tom.
Hmm.
Uh, Whenever I get a present for you, I'm always reluctant to open it live on air
I
because
was thinking the same shit. I was going to say, well, Joe, before I open this on YouTube, can I?
right.
So, Joe, before I open this on YouTube, can I?
I think you can, Tom. I think Tom got me a little something. As you can see, it's got the Disney princesses gift wrap that he likes to use quite a bit. He kind of wrapped it like a bag, as in not really wrapped it, but kind of did. And fuck yes, the much coveted, long sought after Showgirls 2. Been meaning to order this myself for quite a while. I guess I know what I'm watching next. Old Pennies from Heaven. Goddamn. Thank you.
So, spoiler alert, in 2024, we will finally get to that one.
And an acrylic card stand. I thought it said car because I can't read for shit, I guess. An acrylic card stand for cards, you see.
Maybe you should open it up.
Oh, there's probably a bar of soap in here. Oh, and it's got a card with the star of Blade, the series. That is quite humorous.
I know he had to take a day out of his life to sign a stack of cards.
Well, thank you, Tom.
Thank you. And I got this from old Joe. He went festive with it.
Dead.
Here we go. So it's harder to get open because it's not wrapped like a bag.
Oh.
Maybe I should hold it up and unwrap it here so we can, what's it called? Clip this and do unboxing video.
Gift.
That's terrific. You see, I don't have to use my hat anymore. Now I have a container that I can put my marmalade sandwiches in, you see. Thank you, Joe, because you were here when I was trying to keep my hat on with the sandwich underneath it. It was cumbersome.
And that's a saying to keep your head on. But no, that's hard for you to do.
I appreciate that for sure.
And cumbersome.
I have become. Become. That's honey. Anyways, everybody, I hope you have a fucking quiet. That's be puke, Joe. Anyways, what?
Huh?
Everybody, have fucking great holidays, whatever you celebrate, even if you don't, even if you're a bunch of fucking satanic fucks. Hopefully, you can get over your fucking mental retardation and just learn to spend time with your family and friends, because that's what this shit's about. You don't have to put religion behind it, even though he is the reason for the season.
He is risen.
Fuck, that's Easter. Anyways, you just get together with your friends and family and just fucking enjoy your shits and all that, and just try and be a little less miserable for those couple days, because you know right after everybody's gonna be hitting you. You got to pay this. You got to pay this. This is due. This is due. This is due. So that's coming. So enjoy the time you have now. Joe, I hope you and yours have fucking great times. Again, thank you. Terrific.
Tom,
Uh,
a Merry Christmas to all the family for me, and I hope it's a good one.
Me too. Me too, Joe. But hey, DWNproductions.net, just because I have to say it, I'm not going to sell you on shit because it's Christmas time.
FastCustomShirts.com. I'm still fairly busy. I'm going to be in the shop all week until I head out for the Christmas stuff. Had an order come in today, which is I have to give this customer a call. I said, "Hey, I'm hoping you don't think you're getting this for Christmas, right? Because it's and you've ordered shit we haven't made in a long time. Um, hey, you should have got it done by now. Really, you know. Merry Christmas, everybody."
And again, we won't be here next Sunday. We will be back the 27th with our last show of the year. And just check the YouTube page. There'll be shit going up. Tales from the Crypt will be up. I'll have a couple more movie reviews, a deep Blu-ray review, and maybe Joe will get some of the Christmas spirits in him and say, "Hey, Tom, let's record and talk about Emmett Otter, you fuck." And I'll say, "All right." But everybody, oh, Merry Christmas and boy gob.